Hi Spidey fans, it's your friendly neighbourhood, the ultimate Spider-Man fan here, and welcome back to another video of me reading my epic Marvel Spider-Man PS4 related book, Hostile Takeover. We'll just continue from where we left off last time, and we're actually on chapter 36 this time, and there's 10 pages here, 10 and a quarter pages. So I'll be reading 5 pages in this one, and then I'll be reading the next one in the next video we'll do. And as I'm getting near the end of it, I really do hope that you've enjoyed all these reading videos from the start to finish. It's hard to believe it's nearly enough took me a full year to read this book for you on YouTube. That's unbelievable. But yeah, I'll just do my intro first. Subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell notification, favourites, and then follow me on Twitter as well. Type in the @ all capitals without spaces, the ultimate Spide, SPID. And yeah, let's get ready to it. So 1 minute here, I'm just going to put my bookmark on the page that I need. I think I should actually know what page it is that I'm stopping on. So 36, he would have liked to have time to put he would have liked to have time to put together a smart plan. Unfortunately, there was only time for a stupid one, so Spider-Man figured it was best to go all the way and make it a really stupid one. Everything was against them. The event would take place in a Fisk hotel. There were Rocks and Blackridge security guards everywhere. Norman Osborn was in the scene, which meant there was a heavy police presence. If that didn't make things bad enough, the crowd. If that didn't make things bad enough, the crowd was full of people Spider-Man cared about, peering from their hideout in General Station, one with a vent that overlooked the ballroom. He saw MJ trying to interview the most prominent. I can't even say that word. Prominent and wealthy people in attendance. Where was I there? Attendance. Ostensibly for an article in the Bugle Style section. There was Aunt May, accompanied by her boss Martin Lee. Yuri Watanabe was present as part of the police detail, and J. Jonah Jameson. While there were times Spider-Man would have been happy to shove JJJ onto a manned mission to Uranus, he wouldn't actually wish harm on his old employee. Maybe just somewhat mild public humiliation. If it came down to a fight, the people he treasured most in the world were going to be in danger. Turn the page, Spidey fans. That was a problem, because the plan involved it coming down to a fight. The ballroom, at least, was huge, with high ceilings and balconies that overlooked the gaudy, I don't know what else is, gaudy furniture and bordello red carpet. On the other hand, there were glittering chandeliers that come crashing down. So not an ideal location for a public showdown, but still spacious. Spider-Man was depending on Maya because she had way more experience with this nut bankham. He's insane, she'd explained, but he's predictably insane. He's exhibited some of the same behaviours in each of my encounters with him. He's a braggart and seems to think he is the real Spider-Man. He's aggressive and cruel. What gives us hope is that he has rampant hoarding tendencies. He keeps things, and the things that are most important to him he keeps close. So you think he has the thumb drive? He asked. I know he does. You told me what he said. It's safe, but it's not. It's safe, but it's not in the safe. He has it, and he'll have it with him. I know he will, she said. Or I'm reasonably certain he will, like 90% certain. What if it's the 10%? Then we've risked everything, Maya said, for absolutely nothing. On the other hand, we have no alternative. Then you understand the realities of our situation. If they were going to succeed, they would have to rely on the consistency of Bingham's madness. This seemed to Spider-Man its own sort of madness. On the other hand, they had no choice but to try. it's it, it, it's not like a king granting Fisk a title though. He said Osborne can say that Fisk will be the new Commissioner of Finance, but if tomorrow we get the thumb drive and let Osborne know, then all bets will be off. It will be an embarrassment for the mayor's office, but he'll deal with it. Agreed, but after tonight, there's no guarantee we'll be able to get the thumb drive tomorrow or ever again. Tonight, at least, we know the lunatic will be nearby. We'll know he'll have the thumb drive on. We won't be able to resist proving that he is the real Spider-Man. But Bingham is powerful, not clever. No, if we're going to succeed, it has to be tonight. She concluded this time tomorrow, Fisk might have figured out a way to get the thumb drive away from him, and then we'll never be able to stop him. He couldn't help but think of what Nabby had told him, though. A public attack on Fisk was going to make it harder for her to advance her own investigations. Even if they prevented Fisk from becoming the Commissioner, they might be taking it harder, even impossible for the Lieutenant to nail him legally. He could second guess himself forever though, and that wasn't an option. If Osborne placed Fisk in in that position, bad things would result. He couldn't let that happen. He had to deal with the crisis in front of him. He'd deal with the fallout later. That was why Spider-Man had stopped arguing with me. He was never going to convince himself that this was a great plan, but he knew he had to go ahead with it. She was dressed as Echo, perhaps to conceal her identity, perhaps because she felt freer to fight dressed like that. There was something else too. He suspected Fisk had played a role in shaping Maya over the past 8 years. Echo was a role she had created for herself, even before she knew about Fisk's betrayal. Being Echo had been an act of revelation. He understood what it was to put on a costume and feel liberated from your ordinary life. She probably needed that even more than he did. The party had been going for more than an hour when Echo tapped him on the shoulder. What are you waiting for? She asked. I don't know, he said, some kind of a sign that the time is right. An indication that Bingham is here. If I go out there and he's not even watching, it's going to be a disaster. He's here, she said, I'm sure of it. He loves to spy on people and he won't be able to resist watching how things play out. But even if he's not, your appearance will make the news, so you'll just have to wait for him. Basically keep from getting shot by cops for what? 20, 30 minutes until he can get here. If he's close, she said, you'd better hope he's not out in Brooklyn. You know, I think you were easier to deal with before you discovered humour. I'm telling you, he'll show. She said, this is the gamble. We're betting on it, but a bet is never a sure thing. We have to put everything on the line and hope for the best. That was probably the best pep talk he was going to get, so he pulled down the bottom half of his mask, but then he turned back to her and rolled it back up to expose his mouth again. What? What? She asked before we get started. He said I should probably pee. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention for a moment? The room went silent as all conversations came to a halt. The piano quartet stopped playing. He winced at the sound of MJ doing a face palm. She had to think this was the most idiotic stunt of his career, and he wasn't exactly sure she was wrong. Definitely pop 10. Someone should really do a supercut. I just want to offer a few words about my friend Wilson Fisk, Spider-Man said loyally, standing with his feet on the ceiling. Businessman, can't say that word. Therapist. Oh yeah, that word's used in the cartoons. I can never read that. Philanthropist, Kingpin, super gigantic dude. You all know him. You all hate him, but you have to pretend to like him because you don't want to wake up with a horse's head between the sheets. It's the webhead, Jameson shouted to a group of police officers. Shoot him! The cops looked unsure, confused. What Nabby was talking to someone, trying to keep them from drawing their guns. She had no idea what was going on and must have thought he'd lost his mind. He'd have given her a heads up. she'd have tried to talk him out of this, but she might even have taken steps to prevent him from going ahead. I understand the mayor. Heather Norman is thinking about naming Fisk the Commissioner of Finance. That may not be the smartest idea. He scanned the room for Bingham but still didn't see him. That's really all I wanted to say, so I'll stop disturbing your evening, except he asked that anyone who might be the Spider-Man imposter, please step forward. If you're the one going around trying to smear my name by hurting people, committing murder, and generally being a jerk, come on, show yourself, don't be shy. You're the imposter. And there he was, rolling in from an upper balcony, flipping to land on an overhanging ledge. I'm the real Spider-Man, Bingham shouted as he thumped his chest. The Spider-Man whose hands are dipped in blood. One of us has spent the last 8 years trying to help the city, Spider-Man announced. The other one is dipped in blood, so let's see a show of hands. Which one is the imposter? I told you that jerk was a fake, he heard her. Oh, I might say that again in a better emotion. I told you that jerk was a fake, he heard the cop say. It's not an imposter, Jameson shouted back. There's more than one of them. They're breeding. As people started to talk in the volume room, Spider-Man had tuned them out. Here was the man who had killed all those innocent people, had killed his friend Annika. His friend Annika was dead because of him. It hurt less with the passing of time, but the anger hadn't gone away, not entirely, and that was a good thing. Bingham was insane, yes, dangerously so. And it would be up to a court of law to decide what a fit punishment was. It would be up to Spider-Man to hand him over to the authorities, and that wasn't likely to be easy. He needed to keep a clear head. Bingham made his move, swinging toward his perch on the ceiling. As he did, people started to panic, and there was a rush for the doors. That made it harder for the cops to react. Spider-Man's impulse was to dodge out of the way, but he couldn't do that. He had to get in close, and as unsavoury as it sounded, search for the thumb drive. He was going to get hurt, and there was no way to avoid it. He was going to have to deal with the pain. It was a good thing he had a lot of experience. Standing next to Fisk, Norman Osborn permitted himself a smile. On second thought, Wilson, I don't think I'll be offering you that position. It was you all along, wasn't it? Fisk sought to control his expression. You sent him to me as a spy. I just put him in your way and you snapped him up, the mayor replied. But I knew you would be dealing. I knew what you would be dealing with. I knew he was unstable. It was a calculated move. Either he'd do what I told him to, or if not, he would destroy you from the inside. I don't know how this will end with him, but your hold over me is done. He still has a copy of the files. Fisk told him. You'd better pray I don't regain control of it. I don't pray, Osborn said. Praying is for people who leave things to chance. He glanced around the room, taking in the chaos. People ran for cover. They knocked each other down as they tried to force their way to the exits. Police officers drew their guns but had no idea what to do next. There was Jameson screaming at anyone who would listen. Cameras, flashes, reporters took pictures. TV reporters stood in front of their cameramen and tried to remain still as they were jostled out of their frames. You imagine yourself as someone who sees every move in advance, Osborn said, but I'm afraid you've been outclassed. If you'd wanted to do business, Fisk, we could have done business, but you had to try to force my hand. That was a mistake. No matter what you think, Fisk told him, we are not finished. You've crossed a line from which there will be no retreating. Osborn gazed at the pandemonium around him and remained as placid. Sorry, I've said that wrong, Spidey-Fans. As placid as if he were gazing at sculptures in a museum. Nice party, yeah. They met mid-air, and Spider-Man was ready. At least he thought he was. He had some ideas about general reading this, and it was all great inside his head. But to be honest with himself, he had no clue what he was doing. The first thing he had was when, as they hurled towards each other, blood spider punched him in the face. Spider-Man rolled with it, minimising the impact, but still, what was the word? Hurt? Yes, that was it. It hurt a lot. This is still the best plan we've got. He reminded himself as pain exploded in his head. He learned a lot from fighting Echo. He learned about his own style, how he relied on moves and patterns he hadn't even known were in his lexicon. Then he learned how to force himself to think differently, not like himself. It was shadow boxing, so he'd had to find a way to trick his shadow. Ben 10 wasn't Echo though. He could do what Spider-Man did, but he'd never studied his moves. He wanted to be Spider-Man, but he hadn't taken the time to learn how to be Spider-Man. And yeah, that's going to be it for this. I'm halfway through now, Spidey-Fans. I'll record the next one as soon as I export this. So yeah, thanks for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, like I said, I really do hope you've enjoyed all my reading videos, even though I stutter a lot, which I apologise for. It just happens sometimes. But other than that, yeah, I really do hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, thanks for watching. And I will see all you Spidey-Fans in all of my next epic Spidey videos. It's your friendly neighbourhood Spider Cop. Over and out. Thwap 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 thwap.